Ladies and gentlemen, boys and the girls, welcome to Collecting Weekly Comics. We're going to do a show about CGC submissions, previews, and predictions. We're also going to talk about the things we got this week related to comics. And initially, this was a one-shot thing, but I think we're going to do it every once in a while. And shout out to Danny and Sean, our comic gurus, for joining
9.8,
us
baby.
today. There we go, 9.8, baby. Anyways, Danny, the floor is yours.
Wait, hold on.
What do I do with my hands?
What do we do? Look at
Oh.
this.
So first off, we have my comics.
I like them a lot.
They look good.
I thought we were going to go on a new comic pickups.
Oh, we're gonna see it. Let's.
Oh, we're gonna go into pickups?
Oh, no, that's fine. We could do this.
Wait, what?
There we go. Let's see what you
That's
got.
good. Let's see what you have here. Yeah.
So pretty much we're gonna go through the list of all 12 or 14 submissions that we
Okay.
have. So the first one is the Adam Legend of the Blue Atom, #1.
Okay.
So this is a pretty scarce book, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the print run, but it's pretty low. And there's a spec of this book of the character, the Blue Atom, is supposed to be in future either Disney Plus or MCU movies.
Okay.
So, and she's boyfriend to Monica Rambeau in the comics, so he might show up like that in that same role.
Sweet. Now this is one you're submitting, part of your. 12.
Yeah, this is one I'm submitting.
Okay. And
And
raw. It's even raw without graded is a 435 price point. That's high.
That already
yeah,
beats
well, I mean that's
anything
like a fair market value, I guess, because you can't really it's going through all the all the near mints. So
Yeah.
We?
What do you feel? What is your feeling on the rating on the one you're holding?
this one, to be honest, there's some problems because all these books that I have
Yeah.
were like my Wednesday Warrior stuff. I bought them all on the very first release day for cover price. So I read everything. So they've been handled.
Danny,
Right,
can we talk about like I know you kind of mentioned just briefly, but how you got some of these prices here? Can we also talk about
Okay.
how you're getting these graded? Because I know you're getting them pressed and graded, and then also, I guess what you think it might grade at.
So we are pressing with the comic book presser. He's out in Fresno, and I found this guy on Instagram, and he's done some pretty good work. I felt a lot of the community seems to like him, and they go with him. And one thing that stood out was he turned Ultimate Fallout #4 8.5 to a 9.8.
Ooh.
Jesus.
I'm hoping he can work some of that magic on some of mine
How did you find this guy?
on Instagram.
Yeah, but
And he's local. Or semi-local, so he's 2 hours away. So I
So
feel a little
you're
bit
gonna
more-
drive it up there to him.
Yeah, there's gonna be a con on Sunday. That I'll show
Okay.
up and just hand him the books and
And,
Hell yeah.
and will
pray to the
he?
CGC gods.
And he'll send it directly for you to CGC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's gonna press them first and then send them out.
So
If-
here's a question. Here's a question that I have, because this is where, because I got a comic collection, and this is where I start getting worried, because I've always wanted to go this CGC route, but where I get worried is when it comes to expensive books and insurance wise. So you're gonna drop it off with this guy, but do you how is the insurance dealt with? Do you just leave it with him because you trust him and this and that, or I know when you send it yourself, you can buy insurance through the postal service. In this case, you won't be able to because you're sending it through the gentleman. Now, how does that? Does he give you some sort of insurance?
He doesn't have. It's just I guess a trust and his following.
Okay.
So I'm going on. The guy has, thousands of
He's reputable. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
and it's not just nobodies. They're all I looked through the list. There are a bunch of reputable people in
Big
the
names.
comic book community. Instagram.
If you weren't dropping him off, have you sent him stuff before?
No,
ship
this is my
stuff?
first major submission. I've only submitted like 1 to 3 comics at a time, like piggybacking off other people's memberships and batches. So this is my first
Wow.
full 12 books, including
And when-
Zach and Dean's will be 14.
When you do that, the piggybacking thing, like, what do you normally do?
What do you mean?
Like, you send it with, so other people will take their stuff to him and you just give it to them, or?
Well, no, I haven't piggybacked for this presser. Like I used to just submit through my local comic shop.
And they did the pressing and everything for you?
No, they would do through
They send it off.
CGCs, which is I think
facilitate
CCS.
yeah.
So CGC has a presser that they go to called CCS, I believe.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So
Just before we continue, I just wanted to say a big shout out to Took. It's his birthday. Happy
hey,
birthday,
happy
brother.
birthday.
What a legend.
And just to address everybody in the
Happy
chat
birthday, Took.
quickly, we got Toy Mafia, of course, always first. We got Duck Elector, Dennis, what's going on, brother? Brenton, we got Erwin, Bats in the Belfry, what's going on? We got Sean, and yeah, we're gonna have a great show today, guys. So thanks for tuning in.
Oh yeah, let's give
We
a
got
shout out
Leo
to the
as well.
veterans too.
Yeah, veterans.
Wow.
Happy
Happy Veterans Day.
I like
Got John Ortiz, Equan, and
Big shout out to P-Rock.
Pablo Meza. Yeah, P-Rock, man. Good to see you're still kicking.
Jesus. We'll talk about that on Tuesday. So what book do we got next, Danny?
Well, did you have any other questions?
Yeah, one other
Hold-
quick one. In regards to the insurance, when you're sending it through yourself through CGC, you're gonna obviously pack it yourself, protect it. I've seen guys use a whole bunch of stuff, pool noodles around the book, around the packaging of the cardboard, and then they package it. But it's always recommended to get the insurance with the postal service, right? Because then, if goodness forbid
Yeah.
something's covered, if something's missing, you'll get that covered, right?
Yeah. So like what you were asking earlier that I forgot, I didn't get to yet, but so you were asking about insurance with the actual presser.
I'm just worried that if my book goes missing,
Yeah, that's gonna be the thing is, if something like unforeseen happens with him, like let's say a fire, God forbid, or
yeah,
whatever, or he gets robbed, then I mean I don't know. It's gonna be
I mean, even John, CGC themselves, like, there's been cases where people say, like, I got a book back and it graded much poorer than I thought it would, and it has damage that is present that wasn't there when I sent it. So, I mean, it's definitely like the whole process is like a trust thing. Like either
Yeah.
the presser, you're trusting the presser to do a good job because they are going to handle your book outside of the bag and board.
Yeah.
You're trusting the postal service to get it from point A to point B in good order. You're trusting CGC to handle it well and to grade it appropriately.
Okay.
And Danny always says, like, you know, the guy grading could have just got a blowjob the night before, and he's in a good mood. He's going to grade a
Yeah.
little easier, or he's going to be a hard ass. Like, there's books that I've seen on eBay, specifically Year One Batman issue 1. Book looks like absolute ass, and it gets a 9.6, and then you have like 9.2s that look much better, but you know, it's very subjective. Even though there is criteria, it's very subjective. And Sean has a lot of experience with CGC because he used to work at a comic store, so he would. I don't know if it was necessarily your job to send it out, but I mean, the store you used to work at did submissions through their account, right, Sean?
yeah.
Right, and that kind of goes into the piggybacking that Eddie was talking about too. You know, as far as insurance, you know, it is a risk that you take. You know, my suggestion on that would be to take photos of your book pre-packaged, so that at least you have a timestamp. Because there has been instances where, you know, you have a manufacturer default on like the capsule and you have like scratches. I remember my first appearance of Super Scroll Fantastic Four. One of them had a scratch and I didn't recognize it until a while later. And that was something I could have debated. But also with a customer's book, it had some scratches on there. And the process took a while, but I believe CGC either refunded part of the money or they recapsuled it. I don't remember in that particular case, but you know, definitely packaging it as light as possible, but also as secure as possible.
yeah.
Is
Like
really
you don't want to
important.
overdo it too.
Right, because if you
Yeah.
overdo it,
You're gonna
They'll
end up ruining the
they'll
comic.
charge you for like it's not enough postage, it's not enough this, and the risk of doing it yourself is, you know, for one, none of us are technically professional graders, you know. But if you grade it too low and it turns out that your book was worth more, CGC is going to contact you and say, hey, your book is actually at this point raw and it falls into a different tier, and then they'll have you pay the difference to facilitate it in a different tier. So going through a comic shop that's reputable, you know, they're professionals in the sense of being in the industry,
Okay.
and they can help facilitate it a little bit better so that you can get the closest grade possible raw, so that you're pricing it and paying the right amount of money.
So what you're saying, that's actually a really good point. So what you're saying is, if you're doing it yourself, you have to essentially kind of be educated in making an appropriate evaluation, because then you're paying that service fee depending on the evaluation you came to, as opposed to if you go to a comic book shop, they're going to give you a little bit, depending on your experience, a more accurate number.
And in theory, a comic shop should be able to grade it more accurately most of the time, compared to maybe doing it on your own. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there who are like dead on the money, you know, and they're like, it's this grade, there's this, is this. They've done the research, they've read Overstreet, you know, things like that, the know-hows and things like that. You know, if there's a dog ear, if there's foxing, if there's all this other kind of stuff going on, and they can hit that grade perfectly, you know. But for, I guess, if you're saying amateur, saying first time sending, I picked up a membership with CGC, you know, there's a lot of stuff that you have to consider shipping there and back, facilitation fees, you know, insurance, things like that.
Before we get like too far into the actual like grading of it, can we go over like sending it in more so first? Like, is it better to use a private presser? Is it better to use CGC's pressing? How do you go about finding a presser? Like,
So
let's start with the beginning and then
question.
get into the.
in my opinion, if you can find a presser that your local comic book shop uses, or a reputable one, as in what Danny's been saying, I would go with them, because right now wait time for CCS, which is
Their
CGC
pressing
company, you're gonna wait 6 months to 8 months just to get it pressed right now. That's the wait time. They're that backed up. You know, they've always been backed up. It's been anywhere between 3 to 6 months to get it graded, just graded. But if you're going to get it pressed, that's a couple.
Even pressers get backed up, because my pressers, he gives a timeline on his Instagram. He's like, I'm 4 weeks back ordered, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever, 3 weeks. Like, he always gives an update every
What's
Monday.
his Instagram?
Hold on.
I'm gonna send him a message, be like, "Yo, don't fuck my shit up, bro."
Wow.
Here at Heroes and Fantasies, where I worked, our presser, his turnaround is a week, and we have an account with him where we would send the books to him, as opposed to CCS, unless the owner of the book absolutely requested it, for whatever reason that might be. He's turned 9.4s into 9.8s, you know, things like that. He's done an amazing job. I bought a Guardians of the Galaxy #1, and it was from the more newer series in like 2008, and it was completely rolled up, and he pressed it flat. You know, there's some other defects to it that, you know, color breaks and things like that he can't get out, but I mean, it looks like a really good book. So if it were up to me, I would say if you have a reputable presser through a comic shop, through like someone who Danny's going through, you know, the turnaround time is going to be a lot less, because everyone's sending their books to CGC.
Now, is he charging extra for that turnaround time?
His pricing is the exact same as CCS. When CGC fees went up and CCS fees went up, his prices matched them. And it was local, and again, it's like a week time.
Okay.
One thing I would also say, John, like I know you're mentioning like super packing one book. Like most people that do CGC that I see like they're shipping like a dozen or
Oh,
even
yeah.
like 100 books right
Yeah.
at once. So like essentially like they're just putting them in a short box and then putting the comics in there, and then that's what they're sending.
How did you send your stuff to Danny?
So we only sent 2 books. Dean picked his favorite Robotech book, and I believe we have a slide for it later. And I picked a book that I wanted to get graded. And then we put them. Danny, what is? It's a type of mailer that you keep mentioning, but it's like a specific comic mailer. It's like a
What are those,
cardboard.
the Geminis?
Yeah, it
Sean?
folds to be like the size of a comic book, but a little bit larger. And there's 2 pieces of cardboard that
Fold over.
sandwich. Yeah, the sandwich the book, and they get kind of like folded into this contraption.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we sent it. And
No
like,
additional.
at
Just that?
any books that I've ever gotten outside of like slabs, but like raw books, they always have those cardboard style
Yeah.
mailers.
Oh, they
Yeah,
sell
me
them
too.
on Amazon. Actually, they look really secure.
Yeah, no, the books really don't move that much.
Yeah.
What do you got next, Danny? What's the next book on your list?
Where I just shared the Instagram.
All right, sweet.
Wait, I'll put it in the private. Oh wait, is that right?
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
that's
let's
good.
Let's
What's
go to the next
What's
slide.
the next one? Yeah.
So we have the Blue Atom. Pretty much, yeah. So I'm like you guys were asking. I think this seriously is a. It depends what the guy can do with the pressing. So I think there's like a. I don't think I'm gonna get a 9.8 to be honest.
Well, okay.
So it's gonna be 9.6 at best, probably a 9.4, 9.2, 9.0, 9.0 at the least, very least, I guess. But
and
I'm
you
hoping for
picked this up.
9.4, 9.2.
You picked this up at retail, like off the shelf, right?
Yeah, off the shelf.
so
So I mean, like, there are probably flaws. Either I doubt I did it because I'm pretty careful when I read. So, I mean, like when you go to the comic book store, there's gonna be like depends if you're not there at like 10 a.m. when it first
Yeah.
opens, you don't know who's thumbing through all the books to find that minty fresh one. So
And what made you buy this comic? Were you a fan of the story, the character, or was it? Did you know something?
to be honest, it was the writer
Okay.
because the writer is the guy who's in what's that Lycan movie? The
Underworld.
Underworld. He's the African American werewolf, the big buff guy.
Okay.
Like he actually writes comics. So I found out and I was like, oh, let me give it. And the cover looks cool. So I'm always like buying cool covers.
Did
So-
you buy for your personal? Like, is this something that once you get back, you're gonna hang on to and see kind of where it goes in the future?
No, this one I have no serious attachment to. So I'm looking to probably move this on to get
Danny.
a better book.
Danny, that's what I was going to ask you because that book at Raw at 435, even if it's like a 9.2 and then you go and get it pressed, and even if it hits 9.6, are you still looking at around like, I don't know, $200-300? Because then that could be your funding for your X-Men stuff.
Yeah. That's why I was hoping it's at least 9.4 because it's in that 700 zone. So
But do you find that it? Okay. Yeah, because your cost to send it to CGC is probably going to be barely nothing.
no,
it's not like
gonna
it's not like
be-
you're sending it individually. So the profit will probably, like, as opposed to trying to sell it raw, the profit would probably be much better to just get it graded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus
I hear you
people-
guys. I'm sorry. I hear you guys talk about pressed and this and that. I'm not too familiar with anything. I just want to come and hang out with y'all. But what do you guys mean by press? Is that basically getting the whole thing slabbed and this and that and graded, or?
No, someone's like it's an actual press machine that people.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's like a science. Like
Yeah.
no one. If you reveal it, like publicly, I think the community will kill you or something. So like
No,
people,
but-
These are just
It's a
general
press that applies
pressers.
some heat. Yeah, it applies some heat and gets the comic into like a nice crispy. If you have any wrinkles or so forth, it tries to. It's almost
Yeah.
like you could say it's like ironing it out, sort of thing.
So
Yeah.
some
Not
sort
like
of
that.
restoration in a sense.
it's not restoration because restoration involves actually
touch ups
like,
and
Yeah, because
like
there is a
modifying it.
category for restoration.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Okay.
that will
gotcha.
give you the purple label of death, which is restoration. Like people stay. That's like the plague.
It's like purple grade, I think.
Yeah. So
All right, well,
And they
good luck
charge
with this
extra to
one.
get it pressed.
wait, what was that?
Yes.
They usually charge extra to get things pressed. It's not just part of the
Yeah,
standard
it's usually
process.
like $12 to $15. Most people do, or 20
Mm-hmm.
depends how good the presser is.
Dane, our comics actually just got delivered to Danny Lee right before the stream. So,
Well, not to me.
well, I didn't want to say to Mama Lee, but yeah, they got delivered to Mama Lee, and they will be in time for Danny to bring them to the presser. What do we got next?
So next we have Black Panther 2, Volume 4, Number 2. So this is the first appearance of Shuri, who is
Let's get a close up of that.
expect to be the next Black Panther, hopefully. So
Awesome. Now, why such a low evaluation on this one? If
What
it's
do
the
you
first appearance of Shuri, you would, and she's scheduled to be the next Black Panther, allegedly or whatever, rumored. Why only 800 at a 9.8?
that's a pretty good price, I would think.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not a bad price.
Well, when you're looking at the blue, the one we were just
Okay.
looking at previously.
I think
The
he said that one was a
difference
short print though.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
shorter print.
Okay, that's why. Okay.
Because Black Panther's a pretty decent title. So
Yeah. So where do you think this is coming in at, in your opinion?
this one, I think there's a good chance it's a 9.6 definitely, or I hope 9.4 at the very least, and 9.8 at the praying,
Okay.
crossing fingers.
Even raw, it's still raw compared to 9.4. You're still in a good price range to own the raw one without having to send it to CGC.
Yeah, so that's why I'm hoping for, like, a lot of these you hope for 9.8 and 9.6 at least.
Yeah.
Love it.
So then the third one will be Daredevil number 2, Volume 2, Number 9. So this is the first appearance of Echo, and she's been she's been confirmed to be in the Hawkeye series.
Oh wow.
And I think Daredevil too, further on, I guess. But she's definitely making an appearance in Hawkeye.
168 raw. That's still not. It's not bad.
Now,
And again,
typically-
these are all books that you just picked up off the.
Yeah,
the
everything's
shelf,
Wednesday cover price.
So you go
Which is
you go after the first issue,
$2.50.
first appearances sort of thing. That's the kind of comic book collector you are, correct?
No, like back then, I pretty much, because comics were a lot cheaper back then. Like
Yeah.
now it's like, geez, like $5.
Yeah.
So for $2.50, like I can buy like, $20 worth of books. So I'll give a lot of titles a chance, to at least to like maybe 10 to 15 issues in. I'll
Yeah.
give chances. So
And have these
lot
been
of
read,
this-
or you just kept them?
no,
to kinda-
I read them. I read everything.
Oh wow.
So I mean the newer stuff I don't read as much because now I'm busy. But back then, this is like either I was in high school or college. So
1990.
I read everything.
Wow, 1999.
Danny, can I ask a question that may
Yes.
have been answered while I was gone? I don't know, but when you send stuff in, are you only sending stuff that you know is gonna come back like a 9.6 or higher, or are you just hoping for the best grade? But some could probably come back like lower than a 9.4.
I mean, it could. I mean, like I'm not a professional grader, so I'm just going off of what I studied off of the guy.
Yeah, but like, so you won't
the grading
send,
comics.
You won't send it in if there's even a like if you think there's a possibility of it coming back a 9.2 or something.
I mean, there's always a chance. Like I can't judge by the interior. Like I look through the interior and it looks good to me, but I think other people find out. I mean, like a professional grader is gonna, there can be things I don't know about. I just kind of judge by the cover, the spine, and the back, and the corners, and that's about it. And like judge it off of the pre-existing graded comics I have, just judging. And then, like I said, the book, it gives you like a bunch of stuff, but it's all vague. So like you can't really, and it's subjective. It's the ultimate thing, I guess. So I kind of overgrade, I think. So I'm not gonna be like hoping. Oh, I don't think everything's gonna be a 9.8. So I'd rather be a overgrader and hope for the best than expecting a 9.8 on everything.
And then be disappointed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. 1999. Wow. So yeah, wow, that's crazy.
Did I help answer?
Kind of.
Brenton says he picked this up. Got it for really cheap about 15 years ago.
Wow.
I guess what I'm looking for, Danny, is like, if you know for a fact it's coming back in 9.2, would you still send it? Like,
It depends.
yes or no?
Like there's
No.
certain ones like the Heir to the Empire.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that might be lower too, but the price is pretty high. So I'm
So
you're
it
gonna get a
depends
good
on.
return. You'll still
Yeah.
get a
So
good
it
return.
depends on the value of a 9.2.
Because I'm always
So like, if
crunching
it
the-
was like a modern book where if it came back in 9.2, it's worth like $10, you wouldn't send it.
Oh yeah, definitely no.
Oh, okay.
Like
Well, and it depends too if you like the cover. If you like it artistically,
Yeah.
some
See,
people
I think
like
I'm doing
Yeah.
CGC for different reasons.
Yeah,
I just
some people
wanna,
like to
display
encapsulate-
the cool.
Yeah.
the cool
everyone's
book.
different. But you can also just, if you just want it in a case, you can. There's these things called gator cases. I think gator case.
Those are the ones with the bolts on the corners.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So I mean
those
that's
are cool too.
perfectly. Those are perfectly fine. I think, and you don't.
I
Need
don't know.
To,
Something
six
about
months.
the actual grade, I want though.
Yeah,
Like I don't even care if it's a low grade, but I just
No,
want
yeah.
the grade.
Some
You know?
people like that. Like they want to do. Like they do. What's it called? Linear grading, I guess. Like they want to get matching. Like if they get like a bunch of 9.2s, then they want their collection just to be 9.2s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like
And
people
don't-
actually do
like
that.
that.
Yeah.
And don't forget, Eddie, you're saying about the comic being $10. Look, this comic came out. What was it? $1? You don't know what's going to happen 10, 15 years from now. It could be worth $10 today and 105, 200. You know what I mean? So you never
Yeah.
know.
Well, and in this case, I think it depends on how this character does in the MCU. It's those kind of books where it really matters how well they do. You know, a reason why a lot of these books, such as this one with the first Echo, has become so popular is because she's rumored to be either in Hawkeye or one of these other Disney Plus films, and that's what really helps.
Awesome. What's next on the docket?
So next one we have some Star Wars action.
Nice.
We got first appearance of Dr. Aphra, BT-1, and 000, the assassin droids.
Sweet.
So there's rumors or spec that she's gonna be in future shows, and I don't think movies, but certain shows like possibly Obi-Wan, because Darth Vader's gonna be there, and the way when she showed up, it was during post Revenge of the Sith, pre New Hope, or right around New Hope. So there's a good chance she
Wasn't
might.
it after New Hope, Danny? Isn't
I
that
think it was-
when Vader had discovered that Luke was his son and this and that, and he hired?
It might have
Vader to
been,
go
yeah.
chase him
Okay,
down?
yeah. So it might be after New Hope. Was it?
I could be wrong, but I thought that's when the time. When the
I
actual-
thought these are after
This
is-
Empire. It's after Empire.
This is after Empire, yes.
This one's definitely after Empire.
Yeah,
But this
because
is volume
one.
I think
one
it's
of
no. I think Mario's right. I think it's
There was
during
a volume 1
A
and a
New
volume
Hope.
2.
I think it's during New Hope.
The Marvel Star Wars books came out post A New Hope.
Yeah, because one of the main plot beats of this comic is Vader trying to track, like Vader finding out he has a son, and then him trying to track down who
spoiler.
hid the
Yeah.
son.
Right. So
But then there's like
pre-Empire.
specs or rumors that Disney put out casting calls for like a young Asian looking actress, which she is.
Afro baby.
So just to answer Mark Phillips' question, Raw, is that graded or not? Mark, that's going to be non-graded Raw.
That's
That's
like
what that
when I put the raw grade or the raw price, I did the fair market value for near mint, which all my books pretty much are.
And that's the thing, Danny. When we look at the prices, a Raw compared to like a 9.6, I almost feel like it's not worth getting graded. No, unless you're aiming for the 9.8 and you know it's a 9.8.
Well, it's
just
kind of it's a lottery, right? Because you could get a raw book for
Well, that's another-
like not necessarily like this book, because this book's already quite expensive raw.
Yeah.
But you could get a raw book of a book that hasn't gotten that expensive yet, and then
Yeah.
get it graded, and it could be a 9.8, and it could raise in the future, or that the fact that it is a 9.8 could make it very expensive, but it's like you're playing the lottery, right? Like you could
Yeah.
buy a $5 lotto ticket and win $1 million, or you could buy a $5 lotto ticket and end up with $1 or nothing.
Right.
So I'm gambling. Yeah, I'm
I
gambling
just think
for
the-
the 9.8.
Yeah.
But
I just
I'm
think
also-
About the investment too.
yeah, like once she pops up for real, and there's true that she gets casted,
yes.
that thing, the 9.6 is gonna go up.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you're getting a CGC to just hold and see how it matures, then yeah. If it's just to do a sale, I would almost just sell that raw. If you're looking for just to clear a collection or clear the issue.
Well, another thing is the wait times right now are, I think, 6 months
6 months, yeah.
minimum, or maximum, I think. But so all these things are, all the books I'm submitting are all like future specs that aren't even in the pipeline,
Yeah.
or they're not coming out till after, like, around 2022.
So you're letting them
So I have-
marinate.
Yeah, so I have time to wait for them to come out, and hopefully it'll be perfect. Like, I want them for when they do release, like, a actual casting or whatever, or showing, you know, some sort of trailer, then I can just unload it and put that money towards the X-Men books I want.
So there's an app that's out there called Key Collector, and it kind of speculates all of the books that are supposed to be hitting, whether they're MCU or Star Wars or indie or things like that. And that's kind of a good indication as well that of like some of these books that you should probably snag before prices get too high on them.
I think at this point, you have to buy every first appearance. Like, people are already doing it, so you're already late to the game. So either you have it already. Like, all these I had, so I had to go through my garage to pull them out because I didn't think they were worth anything. So I think
Dan,
it kind of has to be, you had to have had it already and not known that it was expensive. You know what I mean?
So Jason T says there's a 2-month wait before CGC opens their mail for accepting. Do you know if that's true?
That's actually
wouldn't
my
doubt
buddy. That's my buddy that I was telling you about. But yes, that's where
Yeah, I
we're
wouldn't
at.
doubt it. They're really backed up.
I picked up a comic today from someone. He says he submitted in April, and he still hasn't gotten it.
Oh, I
Yeah,
had
that's
to.
not unreasonable.
Can we go back to
Everything's backed up, man.
Yeah.
Brenton was asking about the missing digital code covers impacting the grades. I actually asked my presser, and he says it does get downgraded if you peeled off the digital code.
Oh wow.
So they will lower your grade
Yeah,
because
it's
that's
like
it's like essentially like the old stamp books, I guess,
Exactly.
or
Exactly.
like the Marvel stamps from the
Yeah.
older, like, Bronze Age books. If you cut those off, like, I know Hulk 181 has a stamp, and if you cut that off, then that drastically jumps the
Automatic
price.
depreciation.
Yeah.
So don't peel anything off your comics. Treat them like your Hot Toys. Put them in the box
Yeah.
and keep it.
Wow.
What do we got next?
So this is just perfect timing. Today they showed an Inquisitor, so that's the main reason I wanted to send this book in, was hoping these guys would show up on Obi-Wan. So you had the Darth Vader Volume 2, Number 6. They had the first appearance of the Grand Inquisitor, the 5th brother, 6th brother, 7th sister, 8th brother,
Whole
and
family.
9th sister. So pretty
All the
much
brothers and
the
sisters.
Inquisitorium or something, whatever they were called.
Get it raw quick. If you can find one.
So yeah, if I were you guys, snatch these up on eBay because they just showed the concept art. So it looks like, and I think that that Fast and Furious guy, the Korean guy, he pretty much said he was going to be an Inquisitor on an interview,
Han?
and I think
Fast
he's
and
supposed to
Furious
be Grand Inquisitor. I think,
I think his name's Han.
yeah,
In Fast and Furious. I don't know his acting.
or
I
Han
was
Solo.
gonna say that's not his real name, dude. But
No, I
yeah,
know, but he's Han in
The
Fast
character.
and Furious.
the character's name. Yeah.
Dingus.
But yeah, buy these up because I think there's still time.
What?
Nice.
The third
covers.
one is Zach.
Hey. Yes,
Zach, take it away.
So I've been looking for this book for a while. It's the Hobbit #1 from the Eclipse Hobbit run. It's the first issue of 3 issues that adapt the full Hobbit book. It's a little bit of a thicker comic. I think Danny was saying it's called a square bound comic. It's probably about 2 to 3 times the size of a normal comic in terms of page count. But I got a really good deal on one of these raw, and it was such a good deal that even though I had seen some kind of small little defects with it, I was totally fine for. I think I paid like $11 for it. I was totally fine to buy that to submit it to grade. I'm very certain it's not going to be a 9.8, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I just wanted to get this before it went crazy high priced, because right now, like last week, 9.8 sold for $500, and that was pretty shocking to Danny and I. It has some pretty key first appearances. His first appearance of Gandalf, Bilbo, Elrond, Thorin, and there's obviously his whole company is in this book as well. And specifically Elrond is kind of important because of the new TV show that's coming out. Essentially, like with these things, once the characters make it into new forms of media, they usually see a rise in price. And this is a book that raw is not that expensive, but the raws are starting to get up into that 150 for like a really pristine example because of that 9.8 being a $500 book.
Like I followed some of the sales consistently, like the last I think 3 weeks. The raw near mints have been $50.
Yeah. So I think mine is like Sean. You took a look at it. I mean, it was a pretty decent book, right?
Yeah, it was definitely decent for sure. You had that like little quarter-inch tear, which I think we could look into the Overstreet price guide and just kind of see what the deduction is on that. But other than that, for it being one of those books that have that glue adhesive on the binding, it looked pretty clean. And not being able to see the whole book because not wanting to take it out of the bag and board and stuff, I think it looks pretty good, unless there's something else going on the inside that you haven't seen.
Yeah, and I didn't want to open the book for that reason, for the spine. But it's interesting because that tear that I have, a lot of the books have it that I've seen, and I'm wondering if that's a production defect.
So CGC over the last maybe 3 years or so has gotten lenient on certain defects, such as if you look into the old like early 90s Marvel books, you're gonna see like claw marks on the sides of the book, and that's from where when it shoots through the press, there's a claw that comes in and kind of pulls the next one forward each time. They're starting to count off less for that, just because that was like a manufacturer thing. Same thing with with certain aged books like smudges and things like that. But one thing I did want to say is, just because it's in the bag and board does not make the book mint.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Someone had to put that book in there. It's touched by many hands before even you get it if you bought it straight off the shelf.
Like I was saying earlier, like if you go to the comic book, like everyone's thumbing through that stack to find that minty copy. So once they find it, they're just gonna toss the rest back on the shelf. So they don't care.
Yeah, and as far as what I'm imagining it's going to be, I think Sean was saying it's probably like looking like a 9.2, maybe a 9.4. So I'm not, I'm tempering my expectations, but for me, it's not really about the value. It's more about just preserving a really nice copy of that book, putting it on the wall, and then knowing that I have that first appearance of these characters. Someone mentioned that Badfish says, would the book technically be the first appearance? So first appearance is like that, quote unquote, is by comic. So there can be characters that have had TV shows already that get made into comics, and that comic is, even though they've appeared before, it's still considered the first appearance in comic form.
Like the most recent Web of Spider-Man, it's kind of the one that they played off the Avengers campus at Disney. The kid from Iron Man 3, they called him the mechanic, right? Or not the mechanic, right? So his first appearance just came like earlier this year, and it's considered a first appearance because it's the first appearance in the comic.
Yep. Yeah, so I have I wouldn't say high hopes, but I'm excited because you know, like Danny said, the raws are getting up there, and you know, I
Like
think it's a good
these
book with a
grades
good story.
are because no one's grading this book, or very few. So these are just two of the recent grades that were even on the census.
Yeah, and you were
So-
saying not a lot of people grade them because just the act of reading these type of books cracks the
Well,
shit out of the spine.
Yeah, no one would have guessed to grade Hobbit.
Right.
Because to be honest, grading hasn't been a big thing till it's been like a thing for like the last 10, 15 years, I guess, 10 or 12 years. But for real, like it hasn't really blown up till like the last, I think, 4 years, especially the last 2 years during COVID. Like prices have gone crazy for graded books.
And I think Pokemon cards had a lot to do with that. Like
Yeah,
everyone started grading.
everything
and
graded.
Everyone looked into
Right.
grading everything.
Yeah.
Like video
COVID had
games,
a lot to do with that.
video games is the highest. Like they're selling for like $800,000.
Yeah, I've seen one, the Zeldas and so forth.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a quick question, Danny? Just to go, not to backtrack, but I just have a quick question in regards, just for example, for that Darth Vader number 6 that we were talking about.
Oh yeah, I want to go back to that too.
So that comic is the first appearance of the Inquisitor. Now,
Yeah.
does it specifically need to be this variant, or
That's the good thing. There was no variants on this cover, so this is the only cover there is.
But a side note, there are certain variant covers that will pull more than the main cover due to a certain artist or due just to the popularity of the art of that book.
I forgot to give my grade on this. I think this is a very good high possibility that I can get a 9.8
nice?
after pressing. So a 9.6 at the very least, I think. 9.4, I'll cry a little.
And straight from the horse's mouth, because he said to check out that what was that app you said to check out, Sean? The
Key Collector.
Key Collector. And if you click on the Obi-Wan series, this comic comes up. So straight from the horse's mouth.
You
So here we have
motherfucker.
Grade
The
this
first-
book.
You
Rate this book.
motherfucker, Danny.
first full appearance of Riri
How
Williams.
dare you?
Very
Wow.
nice.
That's some bullshit. I don't understand.
The new
I don't
Ironheart.
understand. I don't understand full appearance and cameo. That shit doesn't make any sense. Miles
Here.
is a cameo in Ultimate Fallout 4, yet that's his first appearance.
So,
that makes no
and
fucking sense.
It's what
It's book
the
to
community
book.
dictates.
Yes.
Fuck the community.
Same with Hulk 181.
And first appearance of Carnage. If you read the issue before, his cameo appearance is him just shadowed almost in like a cloak. And then the next one is his first full appearance, which is the one that everybody wants. And that one's going for 9,800.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this
this
has a
thing
lot
I
of
feel
potential.
like is a. I'm gonna be a little more harsh. I think it's a 9.6, but I'm hoping the presser can do some good work and make it into a 9.8 because there's tiny little stresses, very tiny on the spine, and I don't know. I mean, I'm not a presser or whatever, so I heard color breaking you can't make a change, but these aren't color breaking, so I'm hoping they might be smoothed out, but.
Danny,
No.
can I have
No.
this one?
No. Now, Danny,
If it's
are
a
you-
9.4, you can have it. Just kidding.
Really? Wow.
No, I'm
Thanks.
just kidding.
No, we have it on
Because
there.
even
No,
9.4
no, no.
and 287, I can.
That's,
Sorry,
this,
Eddie,
this is
uh,
tomfoolery.
Danny, that's actually like a contract you just made, but okay.
Thank you.
Danny, question. You get a 9.4 back. You get a 9.6 back. Are you the kind of collector that would crack the
resubmit?
yeah, resubmit?
No. Because
You would never do that.
It depends.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm not. I don't think I'm qualified enough to really know the exact grade. This is just me speculating. And,
Yeah.
and
But would you
no,
be
I
just
would not.
satisfied with what you get, or would you at least try a couple times on? Let's say there's a comic you really want a 9.8 and you're getting a 9.6 on it. Would you recommend people once they get it back, maybe crack it and send it back and see if we get the 9.8 again?
I wouldn't. There's a risk of damage
Yeah.
to the book,
Yes.
and then not only that, you're risking it coming back as a 9.4.
Or even lower?
You
yeah.
could get it. You could get it way lower. I wouldn't do that unless like I think Sean, you were saying like sometimes like you'll get a book back and you're like, man, this could have been pressed a little bit better.
Yeah.
Right.
Then maybe, but like Like, I would never crack the UF4 that I got from you, because if I crack that
Right.
and it comes back a 9.2 or a 9.4, like, that completely
Exactly.
shatters the investment.
Well, and even then, you know, the book just might have had some kind of defect that they couldn't press out. You know, even when, like what Danny's saying is where there's a little wrinkle in it, they can press that, but all it's going to do is flatten it out. So it's still going to, there's still going to be like a depression there or some kind of like caving on it or something like that. But it's still going to be there. You can't really help those. The
Like
only
especially
reason-
color breaking, ticks
Right.
and spines. Like you can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason I asked is because I've seen collectors do that. Oh, I'm not satisfied with this. We're gonna send it back, and they'll send it 2, 3, 4 times. They will eventually get the 9.8, but at what cost?
You know what I would do is I'd take that book and I'd sell it, and I'd take the money to upgrade into the next grade. My Thanos,
That's what I do.
my Thanos book is a 5.5, and I'm happy with that because it's issue 55 and it's a 5.5, so it's kind of cool. But I want the best issue I can get. I don't think I'll ever get a 9.8, but if I could get between a 7 and an 8, then I'd be really happy on that Thanos. But the only reason I would crack a slab is to get the book signed by somebody if it's worthy of getting it signed, because
Yeah.
sometimes getting a book signed is detrimental to the value of the book itself.
Depending on
You
how
know?
they sign, that's a whole
Dude,
different
there's a guy
ballgame.
called Neil. There's an artist, Neil Adams. He does Batman and the X-Men.
Yeah,
Dude, he's
Signs
known.
everything.
He's known for finger fucking your fucking comic, dude. Like he'll flip through it in front of you. Go, oh, I remember doing this page, and
Jesus, I was
yeah,
slapping
like
out
he'll
of
manhandle it. And what are you gonna do? You're gonna tell this living comic legend, hey, fucking knock it off.
it. I would tell him.
But
Yeah, I'm jealous. I was thinking of submitting my first cameo of Riri, but it's still.
it's just a cameo, dude.
Hey, hold on.
Fuck you, Danny. How
Just
about
kidding.
that? How dare you?
That book go for?
Zach, I have a question. What is the first cameo of Riri Williams?
Number 7.
Yeah, I have the book.
Okay, I have a theory.
Oh wait,
because
I labeled it wrong. It should be number 9, not number 1.
if you
Yeah.
go back to 2015, the Secret Wars book in the Armor Wars tie-in, there is a book where she makes an appearance. Her name is Kiki,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and she's the niece of Rhodey, and she's building a suit. And I feel like that was Marvel's attempt to see how another character would do in a similar situation as Tony Stark. And it wasn't until Invincible Iron Man where she really makes her real appearance.
Danny, is your book the first print or the second print?
Of course,
For
this is
this-
the first print.
Okay.
and how do you tell the difference?
Yeah,
The
'cause I'm
variant
looking-
number 2 goes for a lot, though.
Oh, it
It
does?
says second print on the book.
Where's that?
No, I think the second print has a picture of her on the corner.
Yes, it has a picture on the corner.
So you'll see slight little updates to the cover, so it'll be indicated somewhere that it's a first or second or whatever third.
Sometimes
If-
it's very minor,
okay.
like the Ultimate Fallout 4 facsimile, which is, I think, like almost like the fourth print technically.
Oh, yeah,
I think yours is
the
the
only
facsimile,
difference.
Jeff.
How dare you?
Just
The only
kidding.
difference is the Marvel logo is a
Yeah,
different color.
is the
It
red.
could be very
So-
subtle.
Yeah.
Guys, all you have to do is look at the barcode. The barcode is labeled. The smaller
yeah.
barcode is labeled 0, and then it goes the issue number, and the number right after that is a 1, 2, 3, or 4, representing
That's right.
what issue number, or not what issue number, what variant it could be, or the main cover. If it's a
He's
1,
right.
it's the main cover.
I have one that says here 00, and then it's 111.
00.
111th appearance.
111.
Yeah. What book is it?
It's the Star Wars: The High Republic.
Oh man, you
So
bought
then
that
it
trash?
might be issue 11.
That's a
ish,
facsimile.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But Zach, you're
talk to
number 7,
Don't talk to me.
9.8. The fair market value is $310.
God damn it.
Hold on a second, but what's the difference between a facsimile cover then?
A facsimile is
facsimile
a
is like a
reproduction. Yeah, it's a reprint.
It's a
Or
reissue,
they call
bro.
reissue.
From the original?
Yes.
No, I can't make it.
Marvel's
Like a reprint?
notorious for doing
I
them
hate
right
to
now
see it,
because
dude.
Marvel's notorious for doing it right now because of how hard it's to get some of their older style books. They did it for Iron Man 55 for Thanos. They've done it for the first Watcher, for the first Surfer. I think they did it for the Inhumans, Amazing Fantasies, for Spider-Man. So
Yeah, they do it with every big book, and some of them do go up. Like if you had the first reprint of like Action Comics #1, that's worth some money.
yeah,
Or even like the Pilicelli variant for Ultimate Fallout 4, like that thing goes for $500, 9.8. Like it's pretty.
are you
pretty
is
good
that the
book.
one where they're all kind of like flying?
No, that's the one. That one's stupid expensive.
Yeah,
That's
it
the
is.
one where the cover's all white and it's the panel that he's on, but it's the full cover.
Oh, but you see his face, right?
Yeah, I
Yes.
want that at a 9.8. Someone just listed it in San Antonio, but it's too expensive. It's way too expensive.
Bro, you used to be able to buy that thing for $8.
I own one raw, but it's not great. It's not grade worthy, I don't think.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and take this time to step out real quick. I just wanted to stop by and say hi. And good luck with the rest of the show, fellas. Y'all have a good
Thanks
night.
for dropping by, Ryan. Later.
See you tomorrow.
Later, dude.
Sweet, sweet man.
So this next one is Justice League Volume 2, number 31. This is the combo pack version. So it came with like a digital code inside, and it came poly bag. So this is the first full appearance of Jessica Cruz, the Green Lantern.
I thought you didn't get DC books.
Dude, I get them all. I don't discriminate, bro.
Fucking liar.
Oh, Cash, Jumbo, baby. So 9.8, which I think this has a pretty good chance. I don't really see anything presentable but I mean, I'm not a professional grader, so I think it's got a good chance it could be 9.8 and 9.6 at the least
Why are you grading this one?
to hold on to it and sell it when she shows up on HBO Max Green Lantern Corps.
Oh yeah, she may be in that Green Lantern.
She
Corps.
may be.
She
She
may
will.
be.
But I bought this by accident because I actually bought this because I have like 5 copies of this. Not this one. I only have one combo version, but I have three others of the regular cover and one of the variant because it was supposed to be the Asian Mercy, which showed up on was it BVS or JL movie? But I was specking on her, and
Wait,
she
who?
didn't launch. The Mercy, the Lex Luthor's bodyguard / chauffeur.
I could have been. I don't know. I'm not gonna remember.
But it ended up not being her, and then later on they said it was Jessica Cruz first appearance.
Wow.
So I still ended up winning.
Nice.
But this is it's considered a rare. This is a rare gem. Like there's not that many out there of the combos. So that's why there's such a super high price on it. The next one is Dean's. Take it away, Dean.
Yeah, this is Robotech number 14. I think it came out 2018, I believe, November 2018. I'm doing this purely just because it looks fucking awesome. The book looks pretty decent. Sean looked at it without taking it out of the board and bag, and he thought 9.4 maybe on the high end. So there's nobody has boarded this before, so or slabbed it. So I'll
Oh
be the
shit!
first.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow,
like, there's
that's
Yeah,
literally
there's no.
yeah.
You can get that quick then.
Yeah, this thing is cool. Again, it just looks fucking awesome. This pilot on the cover is Roy Fokker. Spoiler alert, R.I.P. He dies. I don't know if this is the issue, but I thought it was a nice memorial to that character. There is a version of this with Rick Hunter's gear, which is the issue before. This is the variant cover number, or what is it, C, right? Cover C? Yeah. Cover C, so it's the third variant. That one with Rick Hunter is also the third variant, which I kind of want to pick up, but Rick doesn't die, so I feel like I don't really need to pick that up. But yeah, the second I saw this book, I was like, dude, I need to get that graded because I have Robotech number 1. It's a 9.8. So I really don't really care what this grades. Obviously 9.8 would be dope, but not like it would matter because there's no price to gauge it on. So even if it was a 9.8, like maybe nobody would want to buy it. You know what I mean? So I really don't care. I'm just doing it for the
it's a dope cover.
The hanging out with the homies. We're all slabbing books. I was like, fuck it. Let me
Hell
throw
yeah,
one in
dude.
there.
Throw your hat in the ring, my guy.
Yeah, and it just looks fucking cool. Like that's a really cool cover. Like
Well,
objectively, even if you don't know what Robotech is, that's fucking cool looking.
And Dean, it's a good example of reasons to get things graded, which I feel like there's only two. One, you're trying to resell it, and two, you have some kind of nostalgic factor to it, which you love Robotech. So I get it. Like I wouldn't stop you. I wouldn't stop you from trying to grade this because of how much you love it and you just kind of want to see it nice and neat in your collection.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, of course, I would really like a 9.8 just because my other comic is a 9.8. But at the end of the day, again, it really doesn't matter. Like, even if it was a 9.8, I don't even know what it would be worth to sell it, and I don't want to sell it. So, yeah, I just thought it'd be fun.
To be honest, you will not get your money back in that. So,
yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
and I'm never gonna sell it. It's just gonna sit on my shelf until I die.
Right.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just thought it was cool, and I didn't even know it was a variant cover. Fucking Danny had to tell me.
Yeah, there's 3 versions of this. There's a cover A, cover B, and cover C. And then I told you, number 13 is the same version with Rick Hunter.
Yeah, which is again, I want that one also. I can't find it. I've been looking,
but yeah, those
again,
would be
Rick
two
doesn't
covers.
die, so I was like, I don't really like feel like I need that, but it would be cool to have them both next to each other. So I'll keep an eye out for that one. If you guys see it, let me know.
That's in the Belfry. Mentioned my earlier DC comics. I just forgot to change it to DC, but it's still 2014.
Yeah, so I'll be looking forward to that in 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months. So the next one is it's a Jenny Friesen cover of Something is Killing the Children, number 1.
Yeah.
I've never read this book. I literally bought this just because it was an Image number 1 comic. And I think it was a store unlocked variant or something. So it's the first appearance of Erica Slaughter, and there's a projected Netflix show that's coming out on this title.
Correct. Yeah.
So I'm buying it for pretty much the purpose of also reselling it to get other books that I want.
Future potential. What rating are you giving it?
This one I believe it's a good chance of 9.8 also, because I never read it and I just threw it in the bag. Because let me tell you guys a story. After Walking Dead number 1, because I was there the first day it came out. I remember picking that book up on that Wednesday, looking through it on the shelf, and I was like, what the hell? This book is black and white. And I threw that book right back on the shelf. And that book went like crazy, man. My friend bought it, and he ended up he graded it. He got a 9.8. He sold that book for like $4,000 back in 2017, and that funded his wedding. So
Jesus.
Badfish
I missed out.
He says I was late to the show, but is Raw higher value than 9.4 because it has the possibility
Yes.
of being higher?
Yes.
yeah. Well, Raw is also the general fair market value that accumulated of all near mints. So near mint can go from 9.0 to 9.8.
But also,
or
to
near
that
mint
point,
minus to near mint plus.
Yeah, to that point, Danny, it's like just because you have a book that's not graded doesn't mean its price is that raw. Because like you said, you could have a book that's a very fine or a fine. So don't get too excited. Like if you have a book and it's like just an absolute ass condition that you're gonna get 158.
Yeah, because usually
That's also
this is
important
how
to mention.
when it comes to grading prices, the 9.8 and up is the main price, like the main sought after grades, I guess. So the 9.8 is gonna just go crazy. That's like the highest you'll ever, like the highest possible grade that you can get. 9.9s are very rare, and 10.0 gems are super rare. So
You know what's
9.8
funny
is the common high grade that anyone can get, I guess.
the chat was talking about Batman Damned, the Patreon chat, what, like
Bat
a day
penis.
ago, and right. And what's funny is a lot of those books got graded at 9.9s
In 10,
because of the cardstock.
yeah, because it's a square bound,
Right.
and that's the thing today. That's why when I consider like I usually don't dip below 9.6 on anything 1990s to current, because 1990 is when people really started collecting for money. Like people just started buying like they'll go to the comic book store, they'll buy like 5 copies, don't even read them, and just throw them in the box and keep them. So like people
And-
started taking care of their comics from 1990 and up. Before 1990, everybody read the books. Very few, well, not very few, but it wasn't like mainstream to protect your comics and make sure they're like minty fresh and shit like that. So that's why I kind of like before 1990, I can sway my grades. Like I don't mind a 9.4, 9.2, stuff like that.
Someone in the chat earlier said that a first appearance of this was selling for, or I mean, the first edition of this was selling for 800 to 1,000. Is that because this is a different variant?
Yeah,
This is the pink
there's
variant.
there's like I think there's like 10 variants like in printings.
So is
like,
the
there,
like the main one is selling for the most?
no, I
So-
don't think it's the main one. It's a variant that sells the most.
Okay.
I think the big thing that DC did that Marvel is just now jumping on is that when they came out with the Rebirth stuff, which is this is kind of like where it fell out of with like the DC universe where it's at now, is they only had an A and B cover on the shelf. They had other incentive variants that if you bought 20 copies of the A cover, then you get a 1 in 20 incentive variant. And I don't remember this one particularly, but this series had a ton of reprints. You know, so
Yeah.
it just really depends on the art and the character and how they affect the story down the line to where they get crazy numbers.
Yeah, like I pretty much just picked this up because after that Walking Dead, I just every time a #1 image comes out, I just buy it. I don't care. I'll just buy it and store it away, and hopefully one hits.
What do you have next on the docket?
The next one is the Star Wars Heir to the Empire, #1 by Dark Horse Comics.
Yeah.
So this is the first appearance of Admiral Thrawn and Mara Jade. And this one, see, I have a wide range.
Yeah.
I feel like this one, because I see some spine stresses. Nothing's color breaking, but this is a heavier cardstock. So I don't think it's... That's the thing about pressing too. When it's a paper cover, it's easier to press. Cardstocks are harder to press. Or you're not going to get the same... I guess
Result.
Yeah, like it's the paper covers are a little bit more forgiving.
Mm.
So I see some spine ticks.
So what are you saying on this one? A 9.4?
No, I think 9.4. Yeah, 9.4 would be a good grade, I think, but I'm thinking 9.2 to 9.0, and possibly 8.5 at the very very least.
Wow.
But I'm thinking 9.0 to 9.2.
So I want to touch back, Danny. You were saying, like, we have the 9.8 baby slogan, right? But for old, so when I know, like, when I talk to you, you're saying like modern, nothing below 9.6, but really like strive for that 9.8. Can you go back to that when you said earlier that since most people read the books, like, when does it start becoming? I don't want to say acceptable, but like something
the
that you
trick-
should pick up if it's like a 9.4, like a 9.2. Because I
It's
know
the
you were
trick-
pretty stoked that I got this book, which we'll talk about later, for So Cheap being a 9.4. And that's a book from 87, which, you know, I mean,
It's like
I'm very proud of that book. It's a really nice book.
I think it's like the trickle down theory. Like once a look at the 9.8. It's 1415. So once it gets when 9.8 reaches over 1,000, most people can't attain it. It goes past their value. I mean, like they're not gonna, only the super rich are gonna buy, or the rich. But so then people start going for the next one. So that's a trickle down. So they go 9.6. Then 9.6 goes up. Once 9.6 goes up above 1,000, then 9.4 becomes the acceptable grade that everyone's going after. Like everyone kind of goes. That's why like Hulk 181, like it goes down so far because it's so popular that I think like a 5.0 is still like $3,000 or $4,000, and that's a book from 1975, I think, and they made a lot of those books.
You see
There's a
them
lot
everywhere.
out there,
Yeah.
but it's super popular because Wolverine's one of the most popular characters there is. So
But
if there's
what
a
if-
demand,
so to put a
the
year
book
on
is going
it,
to go up.
like books in the 80s, books in the early 90s, like I mean, like you're saying, a lot of people were reading those books regardless. Like people didn't care as much. Like when should people consider buying like lower than like 9.4 to 9 range?
Well, I mean, it all depends on the person. Like that's one of the things I think is because, like that's when, like no one, like that's when people started collecting, and like they're not even
Yeah.
reading the books; they're just storing it.
I would
So-
say,
I'd say
I would say-
1990 and up, it should be 9.6 and up.
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
I mean, but everyone's different. Like someone,
Yeah, I mean, someone might
Might
be
not
perfectly
care.
happy with like a 7.0 modern book, but it's important to them. I mean, that's totally
because
fine.
I'm gonna, like a lot of the books, like
But-
I'm willing to take a lower grade because I'm willing to move them on. Well, this one I might keep because actually all of my books, I think I'm probably gonna keep the Star Wars books the most, and the
You
rest.
have a book
I
coming
would-
up that I want to buy if you don't want to keep it. Maybe.
The other, but like
We'll get
yeah,
there.
The
But,
hard
like, pretty
thing
much-
is, too,
the lower grades I'm willing to take the lower hit because this is also Admiral Thrawn. Once he shows up, like they actually really show him.
Yeah,
I think the
in a
book's gonna
movie.
go like look at
The
whatchamacallit?
Matina Thrawn. Yeah.
Ahsoka. Ahsoka's book went crazy. That Clone Wars #1. That thing's like it's 4 to 5,000 for 9.8 right
Yeah.
now. And just last year or maybe 2 years ago, that thing was like I bought mine. I bought 2 copies of Clone Wars #1. I bought #1 for $400, the 9.8, just the regular cover. And that's like a $2,000 book, I think, right now. And then I bought a 9.6 of the variant cover, and that's like I think like a 2,000. I bought that for $800, and that's like a $2,000 book, I think now. So
Sean, what were we gonna say, Sean?
these books are crazy. Like they go up, especially when they show up on the Disney Plus stuff.
I was gonna say that the books in the early '90s were just so heavily printed that you would expect I would agree with Danny, like a 9.6 and up. I think when you start thinking about grading down, like just to have a copy of the book is mid 80s to early 80s, because the late 80s is kind of when they started making that transition into the less acidic papers and things like that. Not to mention that from the mid 80s on backwards, those books are just hard to find in general. You talked about Hulk 181. That book is just so iconic that even getting a 5 on it, you're still paying thousands of dollars for that.
It's just super.
So-
it's just based on the super popularity, also.
At some point, it's just a matter of you getting the book, and if you want a high grade, you're just gonna have to work up to it, because the odds of finding a book like Hulk 181 now is either one, it's graded and it's way out of reach, which is what Danny's saying, or two, it's so trashed that it's still pulling $800 with the stamp removed, with color breaking on the spine. Someone's manhandled it and stuff like that. It's. I think if you're asking about when you start grading down, if you're happy with like an 8 or even a 6 or things like that, it's the mid to early 80s and down. Just because those books aren't going to last much longer because of the acidity of the paper that they've become.
Yeah. I think,
But
okay,
getting
a
them
lot of-
slabbed, will that, like, because the sleeves, or I don't know what you call it, but what they put them in, they're acid free,
yeah,
right?
the,
Like they
the
won't.
Mylar,
Yeah, they won't continue to deteriorate in those.
Well,
they'll
and
always still deteriorate a little
Well,
bit.
yeah,
but
I know. Yeah.
slowing the process.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Because it's all
It's
put in
hard.
like
it's hard to argue that when you have a grade of, let's just say 9.5 or like a 7.5, it's hard to argue that with anybody who's trying to buy that from you because it's there. But if you've kept that slab in the sunlight because that's just the way your window was and you had it on
Yeah.
display, or it's had a lot of UV light on top of it. I don't. CGC just recently, I think, and this isn't confirmed, started using UV protected slabs. Prior to that, you would have to buy this little almost mylar sheet that would sit
Yeah.
on top of it, which is what I have on several of my slab books that I find important. Because I do want to display them on the wall. I do want to frame them. There's a really good company called Comic Resources. Comic Resources that make frames for slab books. And if you buy the right one, it comes with the Mylar protected UV 99.8%
yeah.
protected sleeve on it.
I
So
think the Mylar sleeves also, because Mylar in general is UV. Yeah, it is like that 99 point something percent protected.
Right.
Yeah, but regardless, once it's graded, it's graded. If they've graded the,
but if you've not,
Well, the
taken
thing
the
is-
effort, someone's going to call you out on that.
Yeah.
If it's
Yeah,
You have
like
like a
super
Hulk
faded,
181 that's faded. I'm not gonna touch that, even though
Yeah.
it's like graded 9.0.
you need to put that back
Yeah.
in the box after it's graded. You don't look at it unless you just want to admire it for a second and put it right back.
Yeah.
But the rule of thumb, I think, would be a lot of people go by, I guess, like 90 and up. It should be 996 at the very least, and then from like 80, I guess 85 to 90, or 80 to 90, they say like 9.0 to 9.4, and then Bronze Age, which is 1975 to like 1980, is I think 8.0, 8.0 or 8.5, like a very fine to very fine plus, is an acceptable like base grade. And Silver Age would be like from 1960 to 75, I think it is. And they say a good base grade would be a 5.0. And then anything
Yeah.
like Golden Age, it doesn't matter because it's Golden Age.
Yeah.
It's worth something, no matter what grade it is.
oh boy.
Well, and if you think about it historically, what did kids do back in that time? They were on the porch, they were reading their comic, and then they're like, okay, let's go ride the bike. So they'd roll it up, stick the comic in their back pocket, and they'd go.
I'd slap that kid if that was my kid.
Wow.
Well, but okay, the idea of collecting comics wasn't like that
Yeah.
at that time.
No.
And you have these really rare instances where you get a Hulk 181 that's a 8.5 or even a 9, and it's
Yeah.
like, buy it if you can, because you're never gonna see that again.
Yeah, and then that's why it's like action. You say to that point, like that time, that generation, because I think it was Action Comics where they had some sort of program that if you read the comic and then you recycled it or something, you got some sort of a mail-in gift, and that's why they're so limited. If I can
Think of-
remember.
Think of Sensational Comics, where Wonder Woman came out of. When that book came out, it hit hard, and then people are like, well, this is too sexualized for kids, so they started burning the books and trashing the books, so they're very limited. So in that case,
You gotta move on.
even if the book was like a 4 or a 2, like you'd still want to get it graded,
Yeah.
because the number of books that are available to you is not high.
It's limited. All right, Danny. What's the next one here? We got
So next up,
Spider-Man.
we have Ultimate Comics Spider-Man #1, the first solo title, origin, and second appearance of Miles Morales. So I see some slight tick marks, like 2 to 3, but none of them are color breaking, so that's a good sign.
Dibs, bro.
And I think 9.4, 9.6, but
That was gonna be a 1.
if he can do
Dibs.
some good magic, 9.8 would be nice.
Dibs.
Or if he gets a blowjob or something.
Get your iron in your ironing board and just give it a good.
Danny,
So-
I just want to let you know, if you're not happy with this book, holla at your boy. I need this book.
It's
bad.
an ugly cover. I'm gonna be honest.
Are you kidding
Dude,
me?
it's a good
bro?
cover.
I don't like
That's
the
an
cover.
amazing cover.
I like
You're a
the
fake fan,
ultimate.
bro.
The ultimate. I'm not a fan of Miles. Never said I was a fan of
Dude,
Miles.
it
But
is Ultimate. It says Ultimate right on the cover, bro.
no, but the one Zach has, I like that cover better, where he's holding.
Oh, UF4. I like this one a lot. I don't mind the other one, but I mean, he's wearing Peter Parker's suit in that other one. This is the black.
But
and-
it's funny that
black and
Miles
red.
is like this because it's similar to Spider-Man. So that's my next book. I got
Hey.
Ultimate
This
Fallout
one,
too.
I like this cover. This is the one I like.
Beautiful.
Same thing. I have like one small tick right here, and it's very common with polybags because when I opened this, I opened it carefully, but I tore it
You animal.
because this is back in 2011.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
What's your rating on yours, Zach?
9.6.
Worthless.
Well, I'm
Okay,
hoping
dude,
for a
the
9.6.
second Miles shows
Go
up in the
go
MCU,
try and buy that
thing's-
book then. Go try and buy that book then.
9.8 or go home, right? That's the. No, I'm kidding.
I'm
Crack
hoping
it.
for a
Crack,
9.6.
crack the slab and send it back in.
So,
But I
so
think
one of your quarter
possibly a
skills for it.
9.4.
Okay.
But
I'm hoping you get a 9.8.
praying for 9.8.
Now, if you get a
Plain-
9.8, are you going to hold on to that?
Praying someone gets a blowjob that's grading my book. One of the three, or all three graders, because a lot of people maybe don't know, but I guess CGC, when it hits CGC, they suspect, or a lot of people have said that it hits like 5 hands, I believe. So the first one is a pre-grader. They make sure nothing is they flip through the whole book, make sure all the pages are there, nothing's torn or ripped, and nothing's like stamps or whatever or peeled, anything peeled. So that's the first one. Then the next 3, then it goes through 3 main graders. So they give their grades, and then they compile it to get the final grade. And the
Danny,
the fifth
how
person
does-
is the guy who slaps it.
How does that work with the square-bound books where there is that risk to crack the spine by reading it? How do they? I mean, do they just do like a cursory flip through the book, or they, like how exactly?
I think they just
Just-
like they
yeah.
just
Okay,
open
so
it
they're
like-
they're
like
not.
this.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Like they're not going like this.
Yeah,
They're
because when you
opening
said
it
that,
like
I
this.
was like, "Fuck, they're gonna fuck my shit, dude. They're gonna crack my damn book."
Oh, I'm gonna do that when I look at your book.
How
I'm
dare
gonna
you?
spread it open.
Spread me
Yeah,
open, bro.
damn.
Sounds familiar.
But
Jesus.
but this is like almost like the original Spider-Man book, where
Yeah.
Spider-Man's first appearance was Amazing Fantasy number 15, and then he had his own title. So this is very much like that.
Danny,
$1 million,
holla at
that's
your
like-
boy.
So, are there any instances where they will not grade a book?
No, they even grade pages, a single page.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
A single page?
Yes.
Well, yeah,
Yep.
but you think about like a single page of first
They'll-
appearance of
they'll
Batman.
grade
That's
it
still
covered.
fucking expensive.
If you had a cover that was removed off the book, they'll grade that. You won't
How
get
about the-
you won't get like a number grade on it. You'll get
It says PG.
PPR.
I think they
It says
even do
PPR
Playboys.
cover.
I'm even.
So
I'm.
they do
I'm
pornographic.
I'm considering getting my Hot Toys graded at this point. To be honest.
They do.
They-
well,
well,
not
not through
CGC,
CGC.
but
No, no,
the,
not
the
through
toy
CGC.
companies.
I'm sure they'll do it eventually, though. They're doing video games and cards now, so
So my final book is the Young Avengers #1. It seems like all the Disney Plus and MCUs are pointing towards a Young Avengers. They're showing. So this is the first appearance of Billy Kaplan, Kate Bishop, Hulkling, Iron Lad, and Patriot. So far we've seen Billy Kaplan in WandaVision, Kate Bishop we're going to see in Hawkeye, Hulkling not yet, Iron Lad not yet, and Patriot was shown in Winter Soldier. No, not Winter Soldier. Captain America Falcon. No, Winter Soldier Falcon.
Not a fan of the art, the
Dingus.
art again. To be honest, the cover art. But
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, same
We
thing.
tell him, Eddie.
Eddie's
Damn,
still
he
here?
came out of retirement for that shit.
So
Eddie's
this is
still
like
here?
a,
Yeah.
I think it's like a 9.6, maybe a 9.4.
It's a 1.0 there.
Being harsh, but hoping for a 9.8.
And again, you just picked this up. It was part of your weekly grab.
Yep. Because I was always giving new titles a try. Like number ones are always like safe bets because it's always the first appearance of something. And then like I'll give the book a try to at least the 5th issue, which is like a main story arc. And if I like it, then I'll go to 10 or 12. And then if I really like them, then I'll just continue on. But that's how most of my collection looks. Like it goes from like there's just a bunch of number ones, or it'll go from 1 to 5, or 1 to 12, or whatever.
So
And then-
what I'm going to ask you now? So now you're gonna get the Zack and Dean's comic. You're gonna package these babies up. Then you're gonna take it to the presser, and then the wait begins. Can we
Pretty
ask
much.
you to record, even if you do a pre-recorded of you packaging and how you package the comics? Can we get that?
Well, no, I'm just gonna put them in a. I don't have it on me, but I have these BCW boxes, which will hold like, I think 10 comics.
Okay.
So I'm
And
gonna
you're-
put them all in there. Like
Okay.
it's just a box where
It's a very good
it
way
opens
of,
up, and then you just
yep.
put it in. But
Dan,
you want to
when
make sure when you put it in, you're always gripping this side because you don't want to touch the spine. Because every time you touch the spine, there's a chance of getting a spine tick or a stress. So you want to always handle your books
It scares me
like
that you're just
here,
holding these.
here, and here.
And
But you're gonna
Danny,
ship-
alternate them. You want to alternate it. To
Yeah,
either
yeah.
spine
No.
or-
No, because once you alternate them, then I'm gonna grip it into the box like this. Then I'm pushing pressure on the spine.
But you also got to think about if you gotta like. I think you have a good amount of books, but for someone who doesn't know, that flat.
I think alternating for sending books. Like if you're mailing books, then alternate.
I mean,
That's what
man,
Like if you're shipping books, then yeah, you should alternate. But since I'm gonna just put them in that BCW
And you're
box,
just dropping it off to the guy.
yeah, it goes in like this.
Yeah, but don't forget, you don't know what he's gonna do with that package. So
exactly.
Well, I'm gonna take them out one at a time, and have him put it in his box.
But and
Just
that's the
pray
thing.
that he takes care of them.
You know, that's the thing though too. You know, he's probably getting some kind of price break off of it because of the shipping. You know, each book has to go at a certain price, and they've upped it slightly, but it's like this many books at this tier is this price, and
Yeah,
then
that's the thing.
and then anything after that you save on the shipping from them.
Because I'm gonna get hit pretty heavy. Like it's not gonna, the normal tier. I think like $40 or 40 to 45 or 50 at the most.
yeah,
But some of these, like he already said, this book is like raw, like already 500 or whatever it was.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
5 or
they're
6-ish.
gonna. There's already like CGC wants that.
High end money to get a grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
probably
shitty
falling
system
into tier 2 for
'cause-
that.
because you don't want to hear that. Oh, we're not gonna. Like okay, you send in like blah 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 number 555. We're not gonna take care of it. But if you give me an Ultimate Fallout number 4, and you pay the higher tier, we're gonna treat it like royalty. Like that kind of sucks. They're gonna treat it like that.
What did you say? What did you say you're gonna send in? Blah blah what?
Blah 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 number 5.
Blah 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 blah.
How dare you?
We needed to squeeze it in there somewhere. I wanted to, Eddie. You had a couple books you wanted to show off, if I'm correct, right?
I have some books that I want to send if you guys are sending them in. I don't have anything that I know is a key, and I don't know even if they're not going to be good grades, but I have stuff that I wanted to grade. Like, this is the reprint of Spawn #1 that came with the Kickstarter Spawn figure.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one that came with I think this came with the modern Spawn.
Dude,
I
I've
have
seen
the
a few
one that
9/8s of that one already.
Yeah, I have the I sold the figure, but I kept the book because it was selling. I think raw it was selling for a good 100 or a couple hundred maybe. So I kept that book. I have the one that came with the what's the word I'm looking for? The other Spawn, whatever it was, the red and black one. I have the
Classic.
one that came with that too.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought
Spawn,
those would be cool to
dingus.
get. Yeah, classic. Yeah, thanks, Steve. I thought those would be cool to get graded, and then I have these books from Danny. These are the only ones that I know are keys, which is like the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill
And Stormbreaker.
and the first appearance of Stormbreaker. I don't know which one is which. You guys want to tell me which one is which? 338.
Stormbreaker's the 338.
That one.
Oh, I thought it's
Oh, no,
Stormbreaker's
yeah,
339.
339.
I think it's
Kick
that
ass.
one.
This is
cover.
Stormbreaker,
That is a kick-ass cover.
and then this is Beta Ray Bill. I think 338
Dude,
or
that
maybe
might be
337.
Right there. Yeah.
But
bring him up.
I
a
got
little?
these all from Danny, and I don't think they're gonna be great.
Dude,
grades,
those
but I
are
just wanna
those are
get 'em
Canadian
graded.
variants.
And you know if they're
Wait,
know
no,
if-
they might not be. They might be just newsstand. Never
and
mind.
you know if they're Canadian,
You said
they're the
newsstand
best.
when you sent them to me.
Wait, are they 75 cents or 60?
60.
Okay, then they're newsstand.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Even more rare.
Well, and
No,
you know,
Canadian.
it's
The
standing
Canadian one's
marker.
rare.
Of course, Canadians. The Canadians where it's at.
I just like
No,
the
because nobody
character.
wants to send shit to Canada.
You know what? No one asked you to.
Oh, Big
there.
Dog Pound.
I have
do not
another.
any
I didn't
Golden
even.
Age.
I didn't even know I had this, but I have another Cosmic Ghost Rider #1 from the first solo series. This is not
You
his
have
first
the-
appearance.
You had the omnibus you picked up as well, right?
Yeah, I have the Omnibus, and then I already have one of these graded that was signed by Donnie Cates that came back a 9.4, but I have another chance to maybe get this one signed and see if it comes back a higher grade. I'm not sure that it will,
Wow.
but that's always an option because the other one came back a 9.4, so.
Sweet.
Can I show
And then I
mine?
have a shit ton of Cosmic Ghost
Show
Rider
off.
variants. This one is signed by Greg Horn, but it's like a van where he painted Cosmic Ghost Rider on the side of the van.
So I would say don't get that graded because CGC will not authenticate the signature on that.
Yeah, that's the problem with
CBCS.
signature ones is they won't. But
CBCS. But you're
Yeah,
going
but
to pay $25-$50 for that.
yeah, I
But
don't.
regardless, even if it doesn't, they can't grade the signature. If it comes back at a 9.8, the signature's just gravy at that point, no?
Not necessarily.
No,
No,
you get a-
because there's no proof that that person
There's-
signed it.
exactly.
It'll say
They'll come back markings of this person, and
How about if you have pictures of him signing it?
it
Nope.
doesn't matter.
Nope.
Nope.
they
Doesn't
have to have a
matter.
facilitator
That's a
actually
good
witness
one,
it.
Eddie.
Like a witness, yeah.
Look into that one.
This is signed too, though, by Donnie Cates.
Oh,
That's a clean fucking cover, though.
So you send it to CBS instead?
CBCS, yeah, because they have
Yeah,
an
okay.
authenticator.
So let me ask you, like, in terms of like, I guess, which is more trusted, CBCS or CGC?
CGC is more. What's the word? Reclaimed or acclaimed? Right?
It's the
Acclaimed?
gold. It's the most popular.
But I think CBCS grades
But-
harder.
But
CBCS is the harder
is-
grader.
Yes, but the guy who created CGC is also the guy who created CBCS.
Okay,
He left
'cause I
CGC
have-
to.
No, no,
for
no,
I
no, no.
have-
He didn't create
Yes.
CGC. He was the head grader, Steve Barak.
But he created his own grading company.
Yeah, he-
becoming CBCS.
Yeah, he left CGC
Yeah.
at that point, and
Because
But
I have a
he's the main.
9.8
He's like the main grader.
CBCS, and it bums me out. It's not CGC, but from what I'm hearing, CBCS is pretty good.
I mean, it's nothing to
CBCS
sneeze
is
at.
good. It's just they
It-
have shitty fucking labels.
5 years ago, it
Yeah,
wouldn't
it's
have
pretty
been
low.
anything. But now it's a matter of who can grade it and what's the availability of the book.
A lot of people
Yeah.
are going more for CBCS now just because CGC is too backed up.
Yep.
But CBCS does have that stigma of
X23.
being the lower quality, even though they have higher grading standards, probably.
But it's lower quality due to the community. They're
So it's like this, okay.
Yes.
CGC is Nike, and CBCS is like Adidas.
Puma.
Who the fuck threw that muscle up?
No, PGX is Puma. Don't go PGX.
Like Nike by far is the most popular sporting apparel.
If you can't send to CGC, send to CBCS. Do not go to PGX.
I think CBCS is a great company, but their fucking labels just look shitty.
They're in Dallas. What? We should have just used them.
I think CGC even
Yes.
moved to Texas, I believe. Didn't
They're
they, Sean?
starting-
Yeah, but then we wouldn't have gotten them pressed.
Well,
And it would have been much more expensive to do it on our own.
But you're already going through a guy who's breaking you a deal, so it doesn't matter.
Well, he's breaking me a deal. These guys are just added on.
But okay, but
Okay,
he's
let me
still
ask-
giving them a deal because he gets the break on shipping. So he's offering a service
Yeah.
at a certain price because the prices that he's selling.
Second ever signed. Wow.
Wow, that's fucking wild.
Wait,
Who
You think
signed
that's
it?
wild? Look at this.
is that Campbell?
Look at this.
Wow.
This is
Wait,
the
first
first
of the day or first ever?
ever signed, and I have a picture of him signing it.
Show.
Who is it?
No, first
yeah, the
ever
show or-
ever. This is the first book he ever signed of this variant.
Sean doesn't believe you. He thinks you're.
The only reason he did that is because when I was getting this one signed, the guy before me had the same book and he got it signed, and I was like, wow, I
You
won in
motherfucker.
line. Yeah, I was like, wow, I missed it. And he's like, well, you have the black and white variant. He's like, if you want, I could put first on that because it's the first one I've signed to this. And I was like,
That's
oh,
awesome.
cool. So he put that on there. That's Spawn 300's J. Scott Campbell's variant cover.
That's an awesome memory, though. You know, like just knowing that that's the first book that you've signed.
This is a bunch of R. Dodderman books that he signed. He's got a shitty signature, but see, so all my stuff is signed already. That's why I don't want to
dude,
send them in.
Don't handle the spine, bro.
Scaring me, bro.
Jesus.
Too late. It's already wrinkled. Just
Dude,
kidding.
that spine is fucking gone, bro. It's Professor
feel
X
like-
spine.
Hey, it might have already
Wow.
been gone. Whoever put it in the bag.
Dude, I
and
feel
board,
like
man.
your books need to see a chiropractor.
Wow.
John, you don't like that?
No, that one was bad.
How dare you?
I was about to say a
just-
joke that was so fucked up. I told myself like, how dare you?
Zach,
I got this book. Oh shit. There we go. I got this book recently, 9/4, Batman Year 1 Part 4. I paid $18 for it, and then
18,000.
18 of them things, and then $11 to ship it. And I love this book. There's one tiny little nick right there, and I think that's what did it for the
Oh, I
9/4.
see it.
Yeah.
But it's weird because there's 9/6s that have like 50 of those little nicks, and they still get 9/6. I don't understand that.
They might
The
have seen
blowjob.
something on the
The
back
blowjob.
end. Or
The
something.
Thank you,
blowjob.
1/6 fix. Is that Carlos 1/6 fix?
That is Marcos.
Oh, Marcos.
Carlos.
Sorry.
Yeah, beautiful
That's racial.
book. Beautiful. Yeah, that seemed
Any
racial.
particular reason why, Zach?
Why?
Batman.
What do you mean?
Why the book? Why the comic? Why this?
Why
one?
that?
Oh, this
comic?
story. This story is amazing. Year 1 is like the. It's the canon origin of Batman's first year as being Batman.
By who?
Okay.
This is by Frank Miller,
Don't say.
David
Don't look at the
Mazzucchelli.
book.
Yeah,
Who's
okay,
the-
Danny.
David Mazzucchelli.
But why issue 4?
So there's 2 artworks that I like of this run. So it's obviously a 4-issue run. But this cover is just fucking iconic, dude. Fucking Batman,
that-
Jim Gordon.
Okay, I was gonna say, is that Gordon? Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but the one that I really want, like I love having this, and I do want to get also Part 1 because Part 1 is Bruce Wayne and his parents like in the alley when they died.
Love that.
Oh,
cover.
yeah, that's a
that
good one.
cover. That's a cover.
And
Hilarious.
I also got this. This is the Batman Golden Age Omnibus. So this is
Watch the spine.
Watch the
bro.
spine, bro.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm gonna get this graded. This is the first appearance of Batman,
Oh, boy.
Detective Comics 27, and then all the Golden Age, or not all the Golden Age, but this is one of I think 5 or 6 Golden Age omnibuses that they do.
Dude, does that have Tech 27 in there?
Yeah. So this is Yeah, this is a nice book. I got it at Half Price
John.
Books for a pretty decent price.
That was
What are you laughing at?
that was a 50-50 answer.
John, you just got a book today.
I got look. This Danny's. You know what Danny is? The comic enabler. So I told you guys the story. I'm going to mention it again just for anyone who else is watching. I started off with comics back in the day when I was 15. My dad, he collected comics before me, like my father before me. No,
Wow.
Jesus.
he collected
You said my
comics,
joke was bad?
and then we started doing it like collecting comics together. And then he finally gave me his collection one day, so I have that. But when I saw statues and collectibles, then I moved away from the comics. But I'm getting back into it. This 1989 storyline that they brought back, I'm getting back into it. But today, I got my first rated book. Nothing spectacular. I spoke to Danny, and he's like, yeah, you know, he had a couple, and he said there's a lot of potential because they may be doing something with this for a movie or show or whatnot. But it is the 9.8 Star Wars The High Republic by first appearance of Keeve Trennis, Skier, Loden Greatstorm, Stellan Gios, and Venestra Roll.
Oh yeah, those guys.
By Kevin Scott
Yeah,
and a whole bunch of others.
beloved characters.
Nothing spectacular, but hey, it's a bit of a gamble, and I went through through.
Hey, worst case, that'll pay for your kid's college in like 20 years.
Guys, I picked it up. It flew off the shelves. I've been looking at the
Do it,
eBay.
CC.
They're selling. I only paid $80 Canadian here. That's like fucking $60
Oh,
US.
Yeah, that's funny money, dude.
Yeah.
I paid $3.99 for mine.
Did you? Is it graded?
Dude, I invested in High Republic.
Oh,
I sold
Jesus,
it.
Danny.
I sold it.
Let
Wait,
me
no,
see
no,
what he
do it
did.
again, do it again.
Look at that.
You motherfucker.
Nice. See, that's why I followed Danny. I saw him. He had it. I'm like, this is it. I'm
Dude,
gonna
Danny's a
follow it.
whale, dude. He's fucking.
Dude, they say
Us.
what's her name? The lady
Danny the
that directed Eternals might be doing High Republic.
If she does it, guys, drinks on me.
You heard it.
Anyways, Danny, when you get your slabs back, like, Dean, I'm cool with it. I don't know if you're cool with it, but I kind of want Danny to open his box live with us.
That would be amazing.
So I'm gonna do what like a lot of other people do. So I'll have the box, not look at it, and I'll just I'll do this, and then we'll reveal the grades.
Dude, I would be so down for that.
And if
I
I
would
get
be
like
on.
if I get like a 7.0, you'll see a grown man cry right in front of you live.
Ultimate Fallout 4 3.2. It's like, you
Oh, dude.
Dude, if I get a 3.2, I'll throw it at the freaking monitor.
Say that again. Say your plan again.
okay, I want Danny. So Danny's gonna get all of our books back. Like, our
Right.
books aren't coming to us.
Danny's
Right.
gonna get the books back. He's gonna disappear.
He's gonna get the books right. Okay, dude, I'm gonna message Danny like, yo, dude, how's the books going? And it's gonna be this person's not available.
Sorry, my name's Daniel now.
Yeah.
You'll see my Facebook
Anyways,
say,
so-
thanks for the books,
so-
boys.
Yeah, so I want him to take, he's going to get all the books back, and I want him to take those books, and what he was saying, like, when they get grades back, they'll do a live stream, and they'll hide the grade, they'll talk about it, what they thought it would be, and then boom, you show the grade. But I
Amen.
want him to do it. I'd appreciate it if he could do it with our books as well.
Oh, yeah. That's fair.
Hialeah Comic Bro says getting a shipment from CGC is like Christmas.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a 6-month wait though, because they're so backed
Exactly.
up.
Honestly,
That's what I was gonna say.
I'll be honest. You see it online, like you see people getting CGC books and stuff. You see their reaction, but and this may sound like fucking I'm full of shit, but until you actually hold one in your hand,
I was
nice.
about to
It's
say,
an
Holy
experience.
fuck.
No,
You
I
said
used
it
to not
today.
be a graded guy too. Yeah.
John said it today in the chat. He was like, "There's really nothing like holding a graded comic book."
Nothing.
And when I got this in the mail, dude, I was like, "Whoa!" Like, it's here. Like, you're right, dude. There
It's just the
really
way it's
is-
like
Well,
preserved.
it's a validation. It's a
Yeah.
validation.
Then
you find out
like,
CBCS.
regardless of how subjective, it is, you can say, "Hey, this book is, like my 9.6.
Certified
It is
crispy.
one level lower than like a near perfection book, right? And it has that rating, it has that attribution, and it also carries that value that going forward, like it's compared to others that have also
It's like
achieved
plus
that grade."
10 charisma.
Yeah, I just liked it. Like I've opened a lot of statues, a lot of collectibles in
It's
my
nice.
time.
Big dog pound.
But
I
until
would
you
say
hold
one of
that,
these two.
even when he came out the door, he had it in his hand, and he passed it to me, and the weight of it, I'm just like, I felt like fucking doing a victory
You
lap.
give him cash or what? Are you do Cash App.
I did e-transfer.
Nice. Danny, you said you were going to give away a book today, a slab. Which one are we doing?
Oh, we are?
What the fuck?
No, I'm just
hold
kidding.
on,
I just wanted to-
No, I can. I actually can.
No.
Oh,
You
really?
you can't give something away on the first
But,
show. They're gonna. It's like.
No, let's give someone the experience of holding on to a CGC
Wow.
9.8.
Oh, I love it.
Wow. Okay.
Wow,
well,
Send
Not
over that
bad.
Ultimate Spider-Man, please. Yep. Thank you.
wow.
But Dog Pound, I would take one of these.
What did he ask?
This is the Hans variant because it has Yoda and I don't even know who the blonde chick is called.
Yeah, but those are pricey too now.
Kathy.
And then this one is the
That's the lesbian
the
shit.
Joshua Sway cover.
Yeah.
But there's actually one that I do not have. It's a homage to the Clone Wars #1. So it shows like the two characters that look like Ahsoka and Anakin. That's the one you should get, I think. I forgot what the name of the artist is.
Okay, real quick, CC, Danny the Dingus, that's the best thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. So thank you
dare
for
you.
that.
Double
She
D.
asked,
We're gonna call him
"Can I-"
Double D.
She asked, Danny, can I PM you for your opinion on a variant Crimson Rain cover I like?
His
What's
name
Crimson
is Danny
Rain?
the Dingus right now.
There's
You
fees
guys
though.
didn't. None of you guys named him that.
No.
No.
that
Wait,
was
what?
That's
CC
look
just
at his
came out
name.
with
Danny the Dingus.
What the
How
hell?
dare you?
That's why I was like,
dare
"What do you
you.
mean?" I thought you.
Now
did
I know
that,
who
Dean.
does all the
It's
John changing.
Dean
Ben-
Did it?
it
I
was
didn't
Zach
do
that
it.
did
I
it.
just call him a D.
I'm
is the
literally
only one that
working.
says Dingus.
I'm
Do you
literally,
guys wanna
I'm
s-
literally.
Do you want a
I've
Star
been holding
Wars?
this with both hands.
Well, that does, yeah. Well, who's holding the other thing?
Then it was either Sean or John.
I'm
Sean
working
John?
on the form for the
Sean
Wasn't
giveaway
me.
right now. I'm frantically
Wasn't
doing
that
this right now.
Mortal
It was
Kombat
John.
on Signs?
It wasn't. I
It
swear
was-
to God.
It was
Swear
John.
to me. It wasn't me. I'm telling you, it wasn't.
Okay,
me.
Then it
so
was
so
Sean.
Danny, if you're serious about
Oh,
doing a
Sean.
giveaway,
Oh,
let me
it
know.
was-
I made a
maybe it
quick
was
form.
Mario before you left.
I'm in on the other end. I can't even change anything.
Yeah, it might have been Mario. before
Hosts
you
can win, by the way.
No,
Yeah,
give it to the
CC,
listeners.
just message me.
Forget the listeners. No, I'm
left.
joking. Love you guys.
You heard
Just
from
step
John?
in my DMs. Just kidding.
Wow.
Oh,
Call me on my. I'm just kidding. I have a form if you want, if you're serious, Danny. I didn't think. That
Well,
that
let's
was
see
a
what
thing.
people want. Do you guys want? I mean, take in mind these aren't like I'm not giving away like big tier books. It's an older CGC 9.8 of
Damn, that's fucking
Dark
clean. I'm not
Horse.
gonna lie.
Dark Horse.
Well, let the
Dark
winner
Times.
decide. If you want to pick a few books, and the winner can pick the one they want.
Those are no
can
longer
do that.
canon.
But if you're
Okay.
if you're overseas,
Dean, it's free.
Pay for shipping.
you pay.
I know, I'm just
I'll,
saying.
I'll pay.
$10.
How much is it to ship a book?
50%.
Like
$7.
$10 or
No,
15 bucks.
15.
I'll
It's
credit
15.
$15 to whatever the shipping is if you're overseas.
Wow. Okay, so I'll put a link in the chat. All you have to do is put your name, first and last, in your YouTube username. What's
going on, Joe?
So you can get either. I bought this originally because of the artist. It's called. His name is Benjamin Carré, French, I think. He's really well known for doing this awesome Obi-Wan Kenobi print. I think what's his name? Steve. Steve has it. So I follow this artist, so that's why I wanted a 9.8. I'm willing to let it go for one of you guys.
Wow.
So you're gonna
There
drop
was
the link.
30 there was 37 people watching, and then now there's only 29. So y'all done.
The second one would be Daredevil number 600, signed by
God damn.
Adi Granov, the artist. So this is
amazing.
the variant cover
Zach,
B, where they're in black.
yeah,
Wait, can someone
Awesome.
full screen me so they can see it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on.
What were you
Jesus
saying,
Christ.
John?
Zach just dropped the link in the chat, guys. If you gotta go ahead and click that and give the stream a like, and if you haven't already subscribe,
Oh,
we
shit, they
appreciate
can
the
see my
support.
porn.
Host can win.
No,
No, don't. Come on, Sean. You already own the 9.
I didn't say host can win. That wasn't me. What's the matter with
Okay,
you?
so
Damn it, I
this
was
one
filling
is
it
that-
out.
Is the Immortal Hulk number 17 Raza virgin
Hey,
cover.
The
Ra's al
Immortal
Ghul.
Hulk. The Immortal Hulk books were like the top since. Like,
I want to
what,
30 clarify
years ago.
one thing. We're gonna do last man standing drawing. Is everyone cool with that? In the panel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah,
Dude,
I
this
know,
this
interesting.
this giveaway is gonna have more entries than CW awards so far. We already got 7 people right now.
Or
Um,
if you want the guide to complete. No, just kidding.
or I'll send you an 8.5 by 11 signed snapshot of me.
Or if you want a
An
TheraBand.
ass pick.
How dare you?
But you got to hit the subscribe button and the
Okay,
like
so
and
we'll
the-
do the drawing at 1 minute or 1 hour and 50 minutes. So you got about 6 minutes. So we'll kind of twiddle our dicks for a little bit, and then we'll
Jeez,
bring up
Twiddle
a.
our dicks.
Eddie's gonna have a problem with that.
Come on, don't come at it like that.
Well, I have to come at him. He's not here.
Last man standing. Comic.
Okay, I have a
giveaway.
question about this, and I don't know if you guys know CBCS or whatever, but it says 9.8 white.
That's
Means
right.
you got
Oh,
white
that's
That's the
the
covers.
color of the
color
pages.
of
The
the-
cover of the pages.
Okay.
You white supremacist.
Sopranos.
Sopranos?
Apprentice?
Oh,
Sopranos?
I'm clipping that. We didn't
How
have a
dare
clip all
you.
show, but I'm clipping that.
All right, so we got 13 entries so far. You guys have 4 minutes and a half to enter, and if you're not paying attention or you're fucking around, like we're not going to
sorry.
be all night for people to enter. Let me bring up the form just so people can see all you have to do to enter to win.
Oh shit, CC, this
Is-
is a cool ass cover. I'm gonna buy it.
Danny's comic giveaway. What's your name first and last? What's your YouTube username? What's your email? These are all required. So that way the email we're not going to market to you or anything like that. That's just so we can email you and get your address.
Unfortunately, CC, yes, that is a Texas flag.
How dare you? We got 4 minutes left. This feels like auction. Man. We got 4 minutes left.
Unfortunately. Why the fuck you always come at Texas like that? Just
I mean,
'cause
to be
don't
fair,
have
we
a
come at
Timmy
Canada.
Hortons.
Timmy Hortons is amazing. I was actually gonna take a picture with a cup today and send it to you guys.
Oh,
Dude,
could
I
you
would have
please?
loved that.
I
I
will.
would have loved that.
What
I
other
will.
state would you come at though? Like you have to go to Texas.
Yeah,
It's the best
remember,
state in
guys,
the union.
enter if you want to win, please. The giveaway is right there. You can win a graded comic. I think Danny put up 3 graded comics. You have
A choice.
3
You
minutes
get
and a
to
half.
decide. Yeah.
Yep. What a guy, Danny. I cause jokingly put you on the spot, and I am sorry about that. I didn't think you'd actually.
No,
say
I
this.
wanted to, but I thought you guys were steering me away from that.
I would never.
Danny's an absolute saint. No, we said that we wanted to do a giveaway, but just maybe not on the first stream. But hey.
Wow,
Dude,
what a
when
guy.
I get our books back, we'll do another giveaway.
Wow.
Yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah. Man.
We're gonna give away Zach's Hobbit #1.
How dare
No,
you?
people want a valuable book. They don't.
How dare you
Send
two?
back another book, Danny.
Jesus
Hey,
Christ.
let me know and I'll reveal my my Iron Man 100 signed by Jim Starlin. See what they get to.
Oh,
Let
damn.
me
Put the
know,
link-
and
I'll put the
reveal
link
my
again.
Kino.
Yeah, Sean. Next time,
Wow.
bring some of your CGC books and all that.
I
so we
would
can-
love to. It's all in storage.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I'm in
That's
a
right.
1-bedroom
16
apartment moving.
Yeah, that's
16
right. I
entries
didn't.
so
I forgot about that.
Badfish says,
Hey,
I'm back.
December,
Make
though.
sure you enter the giveaway.
Yeah, with the second episode or whatever.
Badfish. enter the
You have
giveaway.
2.5 minutes to enter. So enter.
Danny,
It
show
only
the
takes
books
you 2
again.
seconds.
I
What?
plan on doing like
Show the books again.
I plan on doing a CGC run too, but it's gonna take some time because I'm over here getting.
Yeah, Danny, is this something?
Whoa.
Oh!
Oh,
The fee fine.
Not the fee fine.
Oh,
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 it's a
no.
FIFO now. Clip that shit.
It fee fell.
that clip needs to be on every show for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
How dare
How
you?
dare you?
There we go. If you want to enter to win Danny's comic giveaway,
Wait, who put that damn window up there?
who the fuck?
Who the
We got Star Wars. I don't know, Marvel, DC.
Look at that ring light.
3.
There is no fucking DC, bro.
Oh, I thought that was Daredevil's Marvel. Okay, my bad.
Daredevil and
Yeah, why aren't you have your ring light on, my guy?
Because I didn't want the glare.
OG
Smart.
says it's 9.6 now. Oh well.
Yeah, I'll give you $25 for it now. We got 16 entries. We're doing the drawing in a minute and a half, so we will allow. They got 35 people watching. So I guess if you
The
don't want
Daredevil one is signed, Danny?
Badfish says check the Facebook group.
Like
What's going on
we
with
have
Facebook?
3 books, so whatever doesn't
But that
get
one's
given
signed?
away, we can carry that over to
The next show.
the next show when we get our books back.
Whoever doesn't pick that one is an idiot.
I'm gonna
Look at
do a
that, Timmy
run.
Hortons.
I'm gonna do a CGC run, but I'm not gonna send it to
Yeah,
Danny 'cause
actually,
it-
I would pick this one
I
out of
wasn't
all of
talking.
them because this is a nice one.
And it's signed.
I'm just not gonna send it to
we
Danny.
got a
'cause it would
minute.
make
We
no
got a
sense to
minute
send it
left.
to him from where I am.
We got 16 people entered. We'll do last man standing on the wheel decide. That is the form there. We got 45 seconds left. So about half people entered. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And we'll get the drawing ready on wheel decide.
Actually, we can register under our wives' names, no?
Wow.
God damn.
No, I wouldn't do that to you guys.
Let's see who entered so far. We got CC, Equan, Sean Usby, Alvin J, Ben Thomas, Bats in the Belfry, 166, OG, I Am Legend, John Ortiz, I think I said Badfish twice, Jimmy Hernandez, Hialeah Comic Bro, Toy Mafia, Irwin, Lemur Hernandez, Chris V. Love to see that.
I put
you
$20
guys-
on Alvin or CC. That's my feeling. That's what.
All right,
that
so we're at
wheel-
1 minute and 50 seconds. So I'm gonna start pulling these names, and I'll double check before we run the drawing. But it looks like we got
I
17.
hope Sean Usby wins because I like to say hugs and kisses on my notes to him.
Oh,
Sealed with a kiss. All right, so let me just double check. Yeah, we got 17. I'm gonna refresh forms one more time. We'll pull that. Yeah, we got 17 people. Last one is Chris V. Yep.
Did somebody put a Timmy Hortons picture in there?
We'll turn that off.
Wait, is anybody overseas?
is that what he put on Facebook? I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, he did put it on Facebook.
Oh.
Okay, so let me just make sure. So remember, last man standing. So the last person on the wheel will win the giveaway.
Big money, big money, big money.
Oh, what the hell? This isn't even the right wheel.
Fuck, dude. It's
Oh,
rigged.
we're off to a bad start.
We're off to a bad start. Phone your family. That's not what I said.
Dude, where's Fern?
I don't know. What the hell?
Timmy
Did you
Hortons,
paste?
yeah, boy. Sweet.
You just saw that?
Yeah.
Dude,
What
I
the
want,
frick?
I want some Timmy Hortons.
Let's try that again.
Their coffee used to be a lot better until McDonald's took the recipe.
Zach, don't mess
What
up
the
this.
hell? It's not letting me save
well.
this. Well, hang on. We got a little technical difficulties.
Dude,
Here, I'll
Ben
do
Thomas,
giveaway.
I'll spot $15.
So Danny,
For shipping.
what would be your last thoughts on telling someone whether they should CGC a book or not?
I
There
think
we go.
ultimately, just
Where's the black and
just
yellow?
submit what you love. It's the same as buying, collectibles. Get what
you
you
don't
love.
submit what you love. You submit what you think is valuable.
Sorry, I'm trying to find the right color.
there's a
This is
difference. So
what
I can buy the comic that I love.
That is true.
This is just
Alright.
ammo to
So
get
we
what
are
I want.
ready. We are
Dude, my
ready.
ultimate fucking grail is Akira number 1, 9.8.
Oh, I had that.
All right, you guys ready?
Just kidding.
No, you don't.
Remember, last
All right,
man
let's do it.
standing.
Here we go. Who's out?
Oh, thank God,
Thomas?
Canada's out. Just kidding, Ben.
How dare you? He said he would pay full shipping.
Sorry, buddy. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, yeah.
1/6.
Hate to see it.
Oh, sorry, Marcos.
Gotta stick to 1/6.
Oh,
OG
man,
fan.
OG. I was
Oh, OG.
rooting for him, too.
Tragedy.
Bats in the belfry.
Oh no.
Oh, no. You hate
I'm
to see
in
it.
for CC.
It's CC or Alvin. That's my call.
Wait, who's
I'm
that?
telling you.
I'm going Usby, bro. I know.
No,
Oh, John Ortiz.
Oh,
you
no,
hate to
John
see it.
Ortiz,
It's
dude.
not you.
You
He
hate to
doesn't
see
need
it.
no flipping
Bad
knife.
Fisher CC. Bad
Oh, Lemur.
Leo Gonzo.
Lemur, no.
Sean out next.
Oh,
Equan.
Equan.
Hey, I hate this.
Also,
Dude,
y'all
Equan
fill
has-
out your nominations for CW.
Dude,
Oh.
I don't feel bad for Equan because Equan has like 20 Ultimate Fallout number 4s that he's sitting
Does
on.
he really?
Alvin,
Yeah.
yeah, I hate to see it.
That are
my-
graded or that are raw?
No, they're ungraded. Equan.
No.
CC,
Why?
yeah, I hate
Oh.
to see it. CC.
Wait, why
Equan,
does he
put
have
in
so
the
many?
comments how many Ultimate Fallouts you have.
Why does he have so many?
Toy Mafia. Foz. I swear, if Sean wins, I'm. Adios. Oh no, it's not
Damn
it.
it.
Oh, bad fish.
Those are my two. Is CC and Badfish.
Oh,
Jimmy
yeah.
Hernandez
Erwin.
and Sean Usby.
Oh,
Dude.
this is
Sean.
fixed.
If Usby gets it, hugs and kisses.
Wow. Hugs and
Oh
kisses,
man,
baby.
hugs and kisses.
Wow, what a legend.
Yeah, I hate
Dude,
to
I'm
see
not
it.
even gonna send the comic. I'm just gonna send hugs and kisses.
Yeah, I hate to see it.
Oh, wow, that was amazing.
Congrats,
Wow.
Sean.
So,
Congratulations,
Sean, which one do you
Usby.
want?
This was staged.
You hate to see it. You hate to
No,
see
there's no
Star
staging
Wars?
here.
Darth Vader. Red She-Hulk.
Sean's not even watching. Look. Okay. There
Sean,
he
I'll
Which one
hit
do
you
you
on the
want, my
DM,
guy?
bro.
There he is.
Wow, what a great show. What a great.
Hey, Sean, next time
What a
the,
great show.
the scavengers do a contest, make sure this guy wins.
He says he wants the Daredevil.
Daredevil. Wow.
You got it, bud.
Congratulations. Wow, that's
Good
amazing.
job, buddy.
What a great first show, Danny. You led us to victory
Sorry,
today.
sorry if I was nervous or whatever. It's a lot of
That's okay.
anxiety.
Dude, y'all should have seen Danny right before. He was freaking out.
He was
I
sweating.
was like, dude, how do you not know these things?
The
He was
second one
asking me.
went live, he was freaking out. What do you mean?
That is true.
Yeah, but he warmed up. It takes
he
a little
did.
time. Everybody on their
Yeah.
first episode gets a little,
No,
like,
Zach
give
and
the guy
I
a
are
break.
fucking awesome.
I had to pop my cherry sometime
Wow.
Zach and I
Anyways,
fucking-
for this.
Oh, sorry.
Hold on a second. We
Make
can't
sure-
leave this. We can't leave the stream. We gotta make sure Eddie's awake.
Jesus.
Eddie,
That
Oh, we
is-
got it. There he
A
is.
story.
I didn't want to pull a P-Rock here.
Dude, his fucking
Oh,
face.
we have this incredible story about P-Rock, and P-Rock is going to join us Tuesday on CW to tell the stories.
I love that guy.
One of the wildest cold opens you'll ever hear. Just come early because it's the video evidence we have is
That guy
ridiculous.
is amazing. Honestly.
Fill out your CW Awards nominations, please. We don't have very many on nominations, and someone's winning $100 from that. So, I guess the less people that enter, the better your chances, and people are gonna bitch that their figure didn't get nominated. Big shout out to Danny for being an angel, and shout
Thank
out to
you
everyone
for
in
all the
chat.
support, guys.
Booming
I couldn't have done
chat
this without
tonight.
you guys.
Badfish says had to hashtag let Danny host.
No, you
Anyways,
I'm horrible.
I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
Wait, I thought I'm supposed to say
I'm-
1st
I'm Danny.
I'm in the leader chair.
Danny, lead us off. Lead us to Neverland, bro.
I'm Danny.
I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Sean.
I'm Eddie.
And the best for last. I'm Jonathan.
Oh my God,
Peace.
Jesus Christ. 9.8, baby.
Bye.